I thought I had buried that chapter of my life 7 years ago when Brooke walked out without a word. No explanation, no goodbye, just silence. I rebuilt everything, found a good job as a marketing manager, met Angela, created a life I was proud of. Then one Friday night at 8 my doorbell rang. I opened the door and there she was, Brooke. Standing next to her was a boy with curly brown hair clutching a stuffed bear. Her first words made my blood run cold. "Conway, this is Tyler, your son." I stood there frozen, unable to process what I was hearing. What happened next turned my entire world upside down. Before I tell you how this insane situation unfolded, I would love to know where you are watching from. Drop your city or country in the comments below. And if you have ever dealt with someone from your past showing up out of nowhere with shocking news, hit that like button because you will understand exactly what I went through. Make sure to subscribe because the way this story ends, you will not believe how she reacted when the truth came out. Now let me take you back to that Friday night. Brooke looked different, older, more tired. Her long hair was pulled back in a messy ponytail, and she wore faded jeans with an old gray hoodie. Tyler stood beside her, this 6-year-old kid with big brown eyes holding that teddy bear like it was his lifeline. He looked up at me with no recognition, no emotion, just the blank stare of a child who had been dragged somewhere he did not understand. My mind was racing. 7 years. 7 years since Brooke had vanished from my life without a trace. We had dated for about a year when I was 25. The relationship started passionate but turned toxic fast. Brooke was controlling, jealous over nothing, and I caught her lying about small things constantly. Money, where she had been, who she was with. The final months were nothing but arguments. Then one morning she was just gone. Blocked my number, deleted her social media, cut off every mutual friend. I spent weeks trying to understand what happened, before finally accepting she wanted nothing to do with me. Now here she was claiming I had a son. "Can we come in? We need to talk," Brooke said, her voice carrying that same edge I remembered. I hesitated, my hand still on the door. "Brooke, what is this? You disappeared 7 years ago without a trace. Now you show up with a kid claiming he is mine. He is yours, Conway. I found out I was pregnant 2 months after we broke up. I felt like someone had punched me in the stomach. My chest tightened and for a moment I could not breathe. But something in my gut screamed that this did not add up. The timeline, the sudden appearance, the way Tyler showed no reaction to supposedly meeting his father for the first time. None of it felt right. Still, I stepped aside and let them in. Tyler walked straight to my couch and sat down, pulling out a small toy car from his pocket. He did not look around, did not ask questions, just played quietly like he had done this 100 times before. Brooke and I stood in the kitchen area, a few feet separating us. The air felt thick with tension. "You are telling me you have been raising him alone for 6 years and never once thought to contact me?" I asked, keeping my voice low so Tyler would not hear. "I tried," she said quickly. "Too quickly. I called your old number, but it was disconnected. I did not know how to find you." That was a lie. We had mutual friends. She could have reached out through social media, through anyone who knew both of us. She chose not to. I looked at Tyler again. Curly brown hair, brown eyes, a small nose, features that were spaced differently than mine. I tried to see myself in him but could not find a single resemblance. "Brooke, if this is true, we are doing a DNA test. I need proof." Her face changed instantly. The softness vanished, replaced by something harder. "Are you calling me a liar? I am saying I need to be sure. This is not a small thing. You are asking me to accept that I have a 6-year-old son I have never met. A DNA test is reasonable." She crossed her arms. "I cannot believe you would doubt your own child. He is not my child until I know for certain." The conversation went in circles for another 10 minutes. Brooke kept trying to guilt me using phrases like "Tyler deserves to know his father," and "How can you be so heartless?" But I stood firm. Finally, she agreed to the test, though her tone made it clear she was furious. Before she left, she dropped the real reason for her visit. "I have been raising him alone for 6 years, Conway. Do you know how hard that is? I need you to step up now. I calculated everything. You owe me about $1,500 a month for child support, plus $10,000 to make up for the years you were not there. $28,000 total." She had it all planned out. "I am not paying anything until I see those DNA results," I said firmly. Her eyes flashed with anger, but she nodded. We scheduled the test for Monday morning. After they left, I stood in my apartment staring at the door, feeling like my carefully rebuilt life was crumbling. I called Marcus, my best friend since college, who also happened to be a lawyer. He answered on the second ring. "Do not pay a cent until you have that DNA test, man." "This sounds sketchy," Marcus said after I explained everything. "What if he is mine, though? What if I have been a deadbeat dad without even knowing it? Then you deal with it. But something about this does not add up. Why now? Why after 7 years? That question haunted me all weekend. If Tyler was really mine, why wait until he was 6 years old? Why not reach out when she first found out she was pregnant, or when he was born, or at any point in the past 6 years? I did not sleep much that night. I kept thinking about the timeline. Brooke and I broke up in March of 2016. If she got pregnant 2 months later, Tyler would have been born around December 2016 or January 2017. He was 6 now in 2023. The math worked. But the last month before we broke up, we barely touched each other. We were fighting constantly, and I remembered being careful every single time. Something was off. Saturday morning started with 5 phone calls from Brooke in 2 hours. I ignored the first 3, answered the fourth. "Conway, I think you should come meet Tyler properly. Spend some time with him. He needs to bond with his father. I will wait for the DNA results, Brooke. You are being ridiculous. He is your son. Stop acting like I am trying to trap you." But that was exactly what it felt like. A trap. "Monday," I said. "After the test, we will figure everything out." She hung up without another word. An hour later, my phone rang again. This time it was Diane, Brooke's mother. I had met her a few times when Brooke and I were dating. She was always polite but distant. "Conway," I raised Brooke to be honest. "If she says Tyler is yours, then he is. With all due respect, Mrs. Patterson, I need proof. This is too serious to go on someone's word. My grandson needs his father. How can you be so heartless?" Heartless. That word kept coming up, as if wanting certainty before committing to 18 years of financial and emotional responsibility made me a villain. I tried to explain, but she was not interested in listening. The call ended with her saying she was disappointed in me. The pressure was building from all sides, but I refused to let it sway me. I knew what I needed to do. That evening, Angela came over. She knew something was wrong the moment she saw me. "You have been distant all day." "What is going on?" I told her everything. About Brooke showing up, about Tyler, about the demands for money. Angela listened, without interrupting, her expression shifting from shock to concern to something I could not quite read. When I finished, she reached across the table and took my hand. "If he is yours, we will figure it out together. But do not let her manipulate you. Get that test done and get the truth." Having Angela's support meant everything. I was not alone in this. Monday morning arrived. The testing center was a small clinic on the east side of town. I got there 15 minutes early, my stomach twisted in knots. Brooke showed up exactly on time with Tyler. The tension between us was thick enough to cut. She did not say hello, just walked past me into the waiting room. Tyler sat in one of the plastic chairs, swinging his legs and looking at a picture book someone had left on the side table. He seemed completely unaware of what was happening, which struck me as odd. If Brooke had been telling him I was his father, would he not be more curious, more excited, or nervous? The technician called us back. She was a middle-aged woman with kind eyes and a professional demeanor. She explained the process as she prepared the cheek swabs. It would take 3 to 5 business days for the results. The actual test took less than 5 minutes. Tyler cooperated easily when the technician swabbed the inside of his cheek. Then it was my turn. The whole thing felt surreal. As we walked out, Brooke stopped and turned to me. "When the results prove I am right, you owe me an apology." I did not respond. I just watched her leave with Tyler, the boy who might or might not be my son. Over the next 3 days, Brooke's behavior escalated. She sent dozens of text messages. Some were pleading, "Please just help us out. We are struggling." Others were threatening. "I have contacted a lawyer. You will be paying more than $1,500 when the court orders it. Tyler asks about you every day. You are breaking his heart." That last one made me angry. If Tyler was asking about me, it meant Brooke had been telling him I was his father before we even had proof. She was manipulating a 6-year-old child to pressure me. Then she took it public. On Wednesday afternoon, I saw the Facebook post. "When a man refuses to take responsibility for his own child, Karma is real. She did not name me, but several mutual friends started messaging asking if it was about me. I had to explain the situation over and over. Most people were supportive, but a few questioned why I was demanding a DNA test. "If you know you slept with her, why do you need a test?" one acquaintance wrote. "Because I needed certainty. Because Brooke had a history of lying. Because $1,500 a month for 18 years was $324,000, not counting the $10,000 she demanded up front. Marcus advised me not to respond to any of her texts. Let her dig her own grave, he said. Document everything, but do not engage. I followed his advice, even though it was hard. Every message she sent, I screenshot and saved. Every threat, every manipulation, attempt, all of it. Thursday afternoon, my phone rang. The testing center. My hands shook as I answered. "Mr. Conway, we have your results. The probability of paternity is 0%. You are not the biological father of Tyler." I had to ask her to repeat it. 0%. Not the father. Relief washed over me so intensely I had to sit down. But right behind it came anger. Brooke had tried to defraud me. She had tried to trap me into paying for a child that was not mine.